Right, guys, we are back. And for those of you that don't know or can't remember, because it's been that long, my name's Joe, and this channel has been dedicated to ADHD and my journey with Elvance medication. Although we're going to take a bit of a twist with that, and we'll come on to that. But I just wanted to talk about what I've experienced. We're about a year on now, and I've documented a load of my journey so far. And I was just reflecting today, there's been a lot of change, a lot of positives, and I think a lot of those positives are because my brain is calmer. Now, they've helped me out in loads of different ways. So, for those of you that watched my previous videos, you'll know that I struggled. I wouldn't say I struggled, but socially, sometimes I would be too keen to speak. And if you've got ADHD, you probably know what I'm talking about. You know, those times when someone said something really interesting in a conversation and you're so eager to put your part across, to comment on what they've said, that sometimes you lose your cue to actually jump into that conversation, or yeah, you lose track of the conversation where it's going. That's something that's really, really improved. Um, Relationship wise, I struggled with conflict resolution, so I'll come on to this another time. But my then partner, unfortunately, we're not together anymore. Um, we was much better at dealing with conflict, and I believe that's just because I was calmer. And when you're calmer, instead of being reactive, instead of having RSD, which is very common with people with ADHD. And for those of you who don't know what RSD is, it's rejection sensitivity disorder, and it's very common that when somebody says something, we we take it as an insult and then we get very defensive. And that's something that definitely used to happen to me. I've actually got a really, really good method for getting over RSD. Absolutely life changing, but I'll do another video completely on that. And that was really, really game changing. The doctor that diagnosed me with ADHD, I actually went on to do some sort of therapy sessions with him after, and he taught me this method, and it was incredible. Like, very, very good. Getting you, like, stopping you having this, like, rejection sensitivity and just thinking about the other person's side. So, yeah, socially, relationship wise, my focus has been much, much better. Um, I'd say because my mind's been calmer, it's I've been on this like quest the last year of being better. I've done quite a lot of therapy, and I'll come on to it. I've actually got a new. It's not quite a therapist. It's more like a life coach, bit spiritual, and it changed my life. Really has changed my life. A lot of the insecurities that I had from my childhood, he's like eradicated them, or we're on the way to eradicate them. Which is why I said at the start of the video, there's going to be a bit of a shift in these videos because what I want to do is document a lot of my journey with that and how I'm changing my life and the reasons why. But you can probably guess, you know, if I've had a failed relationship, I was with my ex partner for nearly 8 years, didn't work out, and you know, there's only so many times you can blame other people, and you have to look inward and say, okay, well, there's definitely things I could do better, and you know, just basically, I don't want to keep failing in relationships. Like my next relationship, I want to really work. So I've really been putting the work in, and it's been some really deep stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it's been deep, very very deep. I will, like I say, we'll cover that in separate videos. So yeah, that calmness for sure has been really good, and I'd say it's just part of my life now. I've been taking the Elvance for like a year, like I said, and I do notice the days when I don't take it, I'm very tired. So that they're almost like perking me up, which I don't know if that sits very well with me. I don't know about you guys, but if a stimulant is the thing that's keeping you going, it almost feels that that's detrimental to your physical health, you know, because you're essentially just, if you compare it to caffeine, if you drink loads of caffeine just to get through your day, then you probably think there's going to be a problem there. I don't know if Elvance quite works the same in like by having like a negative consequence to your health or not. But that's where my mind is. And sometimes what I will do, I will have a few days off the Elvance, and I will notice I'm very tired, but I'll just use that time just to go to bed early, just to chill out, just to be more relaxed. And when I say be more relaxed, not that the advance is like making me a hyper, but just to let my body rest a bit. So yeah, I think it's all been positive from the things I've just said. The negatives, now there are some negatives, and if you've watched my previous videos, especially the ones at the start, I was all on about starting my own business and doing this and doing that, being an entrepreneur, living on my own terms. Something that's really on my mind still, but that has dwindled a lot. So I would say one of the big negatives is the lack of creativity, or the it's almost like it's dumbing down my creativity. Now, some of that's good because I was mental. Like I would sit down, watch TV every night, and I'd come up with a new business idea. And what happened was I started one business and it went really well, and I had loads of money from that business that I couldn't take out because I was already paid by an employer, so I'd get heavily taxed. So my thought was to keep starting other businesses till I make one really, really good. And it got a bit chaotic, and all the money went. And then I was the longer I spent on ADHD meds, the less and less interested I became. And I tried to get back into it. And recently, like, it's not a bad thing. I've actually recently just sold the business that was doing well. So there's good things to come of it. What I do think though is now I've got all the tools, my next business will be it. Like, I'm pretty sure of that. I think my next business, I've I've walked the walk. Now the next thing will be it. Like what I go for. I'm hoping to intertwine YouTube with it. Like I said, I've been on this journey myself, and I'm seeing some crazy changes, and I'm thinking about going down the route of helping other people in a similar way to my life coach has done for me. The way I want to do it, I'm still not 100% on. But he's doing it one to one. I don't know if the one to one scenario really works well for me. Um, yeah, I don't know about you guys, but some people, I don't know if I can. I don't really work well with people sometimes. I think like if you get really committed guys that really want to work, really want to put the work in, put the effort in, then yeah, I could see it really working. But I'm gonna have to think about that. Maybe it's going to be a course, maybe it's going to be a community. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I've got loads of ideas around that. So a negative's been that it's stunted my creativity. Now, what other negatives would I say? Um, Now, you could say it's a negative or positive. My metabolism went through the roof. So I was eating, I was actually trying to put weight on, and I had to eat a crazy amount of food. 3,500 calories I had to eat for ages, and I was hardly putting any food on. Hardly putting any food on? I was hardly putting any weight on, which is crazy for me. Like before the medication, I'd probably eat around 3,200, and the weight would really start going on probably a bit too fast. And likewise, if I'm trying to diet, now I can diet on a lot more calories because the weight just seems to keep coming off me. So I know that it's because it's a stimulant, isn't it? Keeping your body going. That's having an effect on my calorie intake, well, my calorie expenditure, should I say. Meaning that I can eat more calories when I'm dieting, and I have to eat more calories when I'm trying to bulk as well. I put weight on. Um, what else can I say? I would say one thing I have noticed is I didn't think before I was that scatty. And let's use an example for this. Say I'm at work and I've got a water bottle and I'm going to get a cup of coffee. Yeah. So I've got two things. I'll go to the kitchen and I realise I've left my water bottle at my desk. Now I'm doing that more than I was before I started the medication. I'm pretty sure I am anyway. I mean, it's hard to say, but I think I'm a bit more scatty when it comes to things like that. Um, but what you will find is a lot of these things are about how well you're looking after yourself. Now, if you're not in a good sleep routine, so if my sleep's not great, I'm going to know about it the next day, and I might be more scatty. If I've got a lot of mental stuff going on, like maybe I'm dealing with a breakup, for instance, or there's my daughter's not very well. I've got stuff on my mind and I'm working. All of these things can mount up, and they can mean that you're not quite as on the ball as you once were. But yeah, I think that's probably it. There's a lot of positives there, more positives than negatives. Just that calming effect on the brain, honestly. I've watched a few of my videos actually when I first started recording these, and you can tell me it might be, it feels that I'm a lot more cooler, calmer now. Whereas before I felt I was a bit more erratic. And it's not because I'm used to doing these videos, because I've not done a video for at least 6 months, probably longer. So yeah. But yeah, like I say, I think the channel now is going to sort of start going towards bettering ourselves, being better. The next video I'm going to do is going to be about how I got over the RSD. So the RSD was a big thing for me, and my therapist, who's my ADHD assessor, really helped me with that. Yeah, and I'll give you the exact example that I used, and we'll go through that. All right, thanks for watching, and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Hopefully I'll be a bit more consistent with these videos, but who knows, I've got a bit of a backlog now, so I will get a load uploaded. And yeah, thanks for watching.